Wanted to do a quick follow-up on Pokimane. There's been a few hilarious updates to briefly go over, and yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. So I went over to Twitter, and at the time of making this tweet, I actually hadn't tweeted since October. It's been months. But the other day, on January 25th, I see this clip of Pokimane talking about how bad capitalism is. And so I post a compilation of her doing her luxury shopping at Rodeo Drive, which is one of the most expensive and bougie areas in Los Angeles. And I say, Pokimane, eat the rich, also Pokimane, showing her doing that shopping. The clip doesn't want to play now, but it's just like a compilation of material I included in my last video. And I get freaking 53,000 likes and 1 million views on this tweet. By the way, by last video, I mean my last Pokimane video. This one right there. But yeah, the tweet ends up taking off. I inadvertently obliterated Pokimane. As mentioned, at that point in time, I hadn't tweeted since October. I didn't expect that tweet to get so much traction. I was like, here's a silly little compilation, just recycling material from my last Pokimane video. And then boom. That's not the only thing I wanted to talk about in this update video, though. There's also this. Pokimane got upset and banned a viewer for calling her a moody socialist billionaire. Gets called moody, bans the person that calls her moody. Definitely not proving that person right. Great job, Pokimane. Yeah. Thankfully, this one is not having an infinite buffer, so let's check this out.
Anyways, how are you guys doing, my loves? If you think I'm a billionaire, you cookie bean. I'm so sorry. Ba-da-da-da. If I ever was a billionaire, I wouldn't be a billionaire for more than a day. I would give away most of my money. But I also think that's most people.
Looks like she banned that person for 14 days for calling her a moody socialist billionaire. And then at the very end, another chatter says, base chatter, presumably about the person who just called her a moody socialist billionaire. And I really wonder if Pokimane banned this person next. Unfortunately, the clip does end there, but that would be freaking hilarious if so, and too bad we missed it if so. Now look, Pokimane is of course not a billionaire, not even close to it, but she is massively wealthy. She wants the virtue signal, oh, if I was a billionaire, I'd give most of my money away. Why don't you start now? She has ownership in multiple companies, to my understanding. Obviously, she makes a ton of money off Twitch and more money off YouTube too. Has all these income sources, but she's going to sit there virtue signaling, oh, I'd give my money away if I was a billionaire. Yeah, start now then. Start now, Pokimane. You don't need all that money. What do you need the third car for, the third apartment for, luxury apartment for? You need your 20th bag? You might as well give it away. If she claims to be a socialist, I know she's claimed to be anti-capitalist. I don't know if she's ever claimed to be a socialist outright, but like even in this clip, she didn't deny being a socialist. She just denied being a billionaire. So, I mean, presumably she might identify as a socialist. And what a great example of one that is, right? Lives an extremely materialistic lifestyle, extremely luxurious lifestyle, spends money on some of the nicest stuff she can regularly. The whole lifestyle is so over the top and materialistic, and she'll come up with any excuse to not give her money away now. No. Still need more money, though. Socialist, by the way. That takes us to one more new clip titled Pokimane ends her stream after 30 minutes with the worst excuse after gifted subs stopped coming in.
Guys, I thought my meeting was at 2. It's at 1, which means I'm 8 minutes late. I'm so sorry. Love you guys so much. I've got to depart. Thank God I didn't get into a Valorant game. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Ugh, she just comes off so fake, man. Oh my gosh. I'm not even talking about the meeting thing. Maybe that's true. But I'm talking about like her personality and the way that she talks. It just comes off so fake. And that fake laugh and everything. It's crazy to me that people unironically watch Pokimane. I said that before. The concept that people are like, what do I want to do today on my free time? Oh, let's go watch Pokimane for hours. Like, that's actually crazy. Going back to my tweet about Pokimane's hypocrisy. My viral tweet, as they say. 50K likes, 1 million views on Twitter. I'm kidding around a little bit too. Twitter is kind of silly. It's not a big deal really. But it is funny though. And what's funnier is the simps that came to my comment section, like this guy. This is her job, bro. She is transparent when she buys things for herself and is echelons away from frivolous billionaire spending. Okay, first of all, let's address the billionaire part. So the discussion that we just had about billionaires was specifically about the newer clip where that chatter called her a moody socialist billionaire. But the tweet that guy's responding to, my tweet, as well as the clip that I was responding to, like neither said anything about a billionaire. This person's now bringing billionaire into this conversation when none of us said anything about that, and we were simply pointing out her hypocrisy. So it's pretty amusing how much this person missed the point. But it gets worse because he also says, it's her job. Okay, you're telling me it's her job to buy the most expensive luxury brands that she can? That's not her job. Her job is to be a streamer. What are you talking about? That's her job. Buying Prada and Gucci and all this other stuff and buying the most expensive luxury apartments that she can get and all this stuff. That's her job, bro. Yeah, no, it's not. Nice try. I got another similar comment here. Not a fan of Pokimane, but there's a huge difference between a girl that wants to get a bag, like 99% of them, and mega wealthy people. Again, what is with these false equivalences? No one's saying that there's not a difference between Pokimane and like people that have a higher net worth than her. And there are many that have a much higher net worth, obviously. That's like the very obvious point. No one's saying anything to the contrary. We're simply saying that she's a hypocrite, which she is. Look at this one at the top. Eat the rich does not apply to people who still work for a living. If, and honestly when, if she doesn't do this, she's just not very smart. She is able to live solely off her investments and only works for fun. She is a eat the rich. Working class is still working class. All right. Oh my gosh. Where do we even start with this one? This person doesn't even have their own rhetoric correct. Not every billionaire is retired. What is this person talking about? If they're working class. But the billionaires are bad and eat the rich. It's such a weird thing to say. It doesn't even make sense at all. And then obviously Pokimane, if she wanted to right now, I'm pretty sure she could quit today and live off her investments. Somehow this person doesn't realize that. Someone who doesn't realize something so simple is going to preach to you about the working class and probably also preach to you about how you should vote. It's like, dude, you're in no place to do any of that. Oh my gosh. Here's another one. Person says to me, fact you think a millionaire is the same as a billionaire tells us you don't know anything. Bruh, I literally just said Pokimane eat the rich, also Pokimane, and played a silly 8-second video of her doing luxury shopping to Lil Dicky in the background. Oh, I also included the part where she insulted people for calling her cookies overpriced, and she called that person a broke boy. So it's funny how all of her simps in the comments ignored that. I forgot to mention that earlier. None of them address her calling dude a broke boy. How do they think this is a good example of a socialist? And the fact that they do, by the way, is pretty telling, right? Hey, that woman claims to be an anti-capitalist. While she buys the most expensive luxury brands that she can, she lives the most consumer-heavy, materialistic lifestyle that she possibly can, and they don't see that as a hypocrite? They see that as a good example of a socialist? Yeah, that speaks volumes onto their own rhetoric, doesn't it? But that's all I got to say in this one. Kind of low-hanging fruit, not going to lie. Going through these comments of her simps making terrible points. Very low-hanging fruit, honestly. It's pretty easy. But ultimately, it would be silly for me not to get the bag, as they say, when it's right there for me to grab. So thank you, Pokimane, for another easy video. And thank you to her simps in the comments that make the worst points you can imagine, I guess. Made for an easy, quick video. And that's it for this one. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you in the next one.